Welcome everyone to an exciting dive into the world of out-of-bounds tech in Destiny 2. Today we'll uncover the secrets behind techniques that take gameplay to the next level, from sword flying to blink breaching. Let's dive right in. Sword flying. This technique uses the momentum of sword swings combined with jumping to cross vast distances as a titan. Equip a sword, the Lion Rampart Titan exotic boots, and catapult lift. Start off by jumping, then a light swing. Restart your jump, turn off your jump, then light swing again. Remember, practice makes perfect. Navigator Flying. This method leverages the strand grapple ability alongside the unique mechanics of the Navigator trace rifle. The key is timing your grapples to maintain momentum and direction. You will need Navigator and its catalyst to perform this tech. Start off by jumping in the air. Next, shoot your Navigator grapple point, then grapple to it. Once you have grappled to your grapple point, open up your inventory and swap to your second Navigator. Then hold your reload button and restart the cycle. Although having two navigators is not necessary, it is helpful. Doing this is recommended on Titan as it is the easiest to get the hang of, but it is possible to do on the other classes as well. Sparrow Flying. Out of all of the tech discussed in this video, I would highly recommend this be the first one you learn. For beginners, I would highly recommend starting off on a low frame rate as it increases the strength of your dodges. Although frame rate changes cannot occur on console platforms, Sparrow Flying is still achievable. Changing your bindings is also helpful. I personally use Q for left dodge and E for right dodge. This can also be done on controllers such as LB for left dodge and RB for right dodge. Start off by jumping in the air, summon your Sparrow, then hold destabilizers and A or D to start the rotation. Let go of destabilizers but continue holding A or D. Then dodge right when the right fin is pointing up in the air, and dodge left when the left fin is pointing up in the air. Once you run out of dodges, jump off of your Sparrow and resummon a new one and start the process over again. I highly recommend having a Sparrow with 6 dodges to perform this maneuver. Any exotic Sparrow can come with the perk Vernier Thrusters, and is what gives your Sparrow 6 dodges. I personally would recommend using Always on Time, as it comes with this perk built in. I will link a more detailed video description about Sparrow Flying for controller users in the description. Skating. Wall skating and shatter skating involve using abilities to amplify movement speed. Warlocks and Hunters excel in skating with specific combinations of jumps and abilities. Hunters can use Shatter Dive, and Warlocks can use Wells. Titans are also able to skate, but the timing is much more tight, and seeing as this is an intro course, I will not be covering it. Make sure you have an Eager Edge sword, as this is what will help you cover the greatest distance. First stand at an edge, then pull out your sword. And in quick succession, heavy attack, jump, then either activate your super or activate your Shatter Dive ability. Death barriers. Death barriers are one of the most common obstacles in out-of-bounds exploration. They appear everywhere. Funnels. Funnels are tight spaces that allow Guardians to access hidden areas. It is, as it says, a funnel. Everywhere around the funnel is either a death barrier, box pool, or push barriers. Carefully align your position and use precise movement to fit through. Balance box. Balance box is all about good positioning with your Sparrow. This method requires that you have somewhat good control of your Sparrow, and I will be putting this in the hard category for intro mechanics. You will need an observer who has about 60 frames for this one, and you yourself will want as high of frames as possible. Unfortunately, this tech is only limited to PC users. Jump in the air, summon your Sparrow, Hold Shift and W and land on the tip of your Sparrow into a position in which you are at an 85 to 90 degree angle. Continue to hold Shift and adjust forwards and backwards as needed to get into the perfect angle. You'll know you're there once you can jump off and get back on and the Sparrow does not fall down. I would recommend practicing this one before getting into a lobby with your observer. For your observer, they should have their frames go low, so you desync and drop down for them. After you drop down on their screen, they should tell you to boost, at which point you will begin moving forward. Once you have made it to your desired destination, make sure they are on about 60 frames, as this is the easiest timing for a remount. You will then stare at your Sparrow. As you jump off, look back at the Sparrow and hold your interact button to remount onto the Sparrow. Don't get discouraged if you don't get this on your first try, as the timing on this is fairly tight. If performed successfully, you will remount in a different location, at which point you will be able to move freely in that area. Witherhoard Breaching. Witherhoard Breaching involves using the grenade's interaction with your Sparrow to break through the ground. I will also be putting this one in the hard category. Set your frames high for this one. This is another trick that can only be performed on PC as of right now. Test your Sparrow by shooting a Witherhoard shot at the top of the seat, the red area in the visual example here, to see if it bounces off. If it does, summon a new one. Once you get a Sparrow that isn't bouncy, run into the back of it to get it settled on a flat piece of ground. Next, jump on top of your Sparrow. Jump up and shoot Witherhoard down as you're going to land on it. Hold S and mount your Sparrow and continue holding S. And if done correctly, you'll go through the ground with your Sparrow. This tech is heavily RNG based, but practice helps with the luck of getting this to work. Watch the example as many times as needed. Sync box. Sync boxing is one of the first methods you should learn for box breaking, as it is a very useful tool to have in your pocket. You will need an observer for this who is preferably at around 60 frames. It is possible on console, the timing is just a little bit harder. Set up your Sparrow on a ledge, preferably with a far drop below it. Have your observer desync off of the ledge, shoot it off with an explosive payload weapon, and swap to a sniper in the other slot and look straight up on the light gear. Once it falls off, they will do a 5 count. This may change depending on the location. After the 5 count is up, they will either make a call to you or type in chat to signal to you to start mounting your Sparrow. As they hit that 5 count, your observer will look down, and if they have line of sight, it should update your Sparrow out of box. Death to load. Death to load exploits the respawn system to load into different parts of the map. By strategically placing yourself using an IRB, you can use this to skip sections or explore out of box. An IRB is a simple tech that exploits the ability to set spawns between loads. Die in one area where there is a solid ground and a different load. Hit a death to load in the area in which you are going, and you have successfully IRB'd. Don't forget you're going to need somebody to res you, or you're going to need an auto res from a checkpoint. Quantum vehicles. A quantum vehicle involves using a Sparrow, skimmer, or pike, and jumping at the correct time as you go through certain loads to die to the load. I'll show a demonstration of this now. If done correctly, the vehicle will be in a state in which you cannot move on your screen, but you can move on somebody else's. Make sure to have an observer for this one. Frame rate doesn't matter here, just make sure to have them updated every now and then and between load zones. DSM. DSM, or default spawn manipulation, is the act of blocking where your character is going to spawn, dying in that certain area, and respawning, so it pushes you to a different area. It is very nearly that simple. Sometimes it is a little more hard to block your spawn, but most of the time it is as simple as blocking your spawn and dying. Blink breaching. Blink breaching is the act of using your super to push through thin objects, such as push barriers and ceilings. Start off by setting your frames low. Make sure you have on the new Hunter Arc super. Line yourself up with a ceiling or a thin push barrier. For pushing through a ceiling, get into position where you can hold S or A and you are pushed right up against the barrier. As this is happening, try shooting through with a weapon such as an SMG. You should see your bullets start to go through. If not, either the ceiling is too thick or you are not close enough. Once your bullets are going through, continue to hold S or A and pop your super button. Your super should go through, teleporting you through to the other side. These techniques are just the beginning of what's possible with out-of-bounds exploration in Destiny 2. Remember, exploration is about creativity and pushing limits. Thank you for watching.